Hey loves, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Shalonda. If you've been here before, well, welcome back. On this channel, we talk all things fashion, beauty, lifestyle, travel, and everything else in between. Now today, I'm sharing with you all my first luxury bag of 26. I know, and it's a good one. I'm gonna say it's a good one because I have wanted this bag for a few years now. I went back and forth on this bag, but I finally got it, and it is a Bottega Jodie. I want to say the size is medium with silver hardware. I bought this bag pre-loved from Fashionphile. Fashionphile is my go-to for, you know, pre-loved luxury handbags, and I've also bought some shoes from them as well. But I have tried this bag on 3 times. This has been on my wish list for a few years now. I first tried her on in New York. My daughter and I were on a mother-daughter trip, and I ended up buying a Bottega Hop over the Jodie. It wasn't this size. I think it was a smaller size that just really didn't do it to me. It just didn't sit well on my shoulder. I think this is the perfect size for me. I'm 5'8". I'm a big girl. I like a bigger bag. But when I tell you, then I tried her on when I was in Qatar, and then I recently tried her on in November. Before I was headed to Cabo, I stopped in Scottsdale, you know, right outside of Phoenix. So I stopped at the mall there and tried it on, and the SA and I were having a great conversation. But what she was telling me was, a lot of people are turned off by the Jodie because it doesn't keep its, you know, I guess its structure. You know, over time that leather loosens up and, you know, it becomes a little bit more slouchier. And she was saying a lot of people are turned off by that. Not me. But she even pulled out her bag, her Jodie that she's had, she said like 4 or 5 years. I tried it on and I was just like, that's when I knew that I really wanted a Jodie, just because I love the slouchiness of the bag. I love the way that it fit on my shoulder. I want to say it was the same size, but it was just like perfect. And I said, you know, just over time, I just see the bag just getting better and better. So let me show you what I have in here. I have my keys, of course. Now, when it comes to small leather goods, I am still a LV kind of girl. I've been one for probably a good 15, 20 years now. So I have my key holder, and I also have my my little card holder. I go back and forth between a card holder and my LV zippy wallet. But because I wear a uniform, sometimes it's easier for me to just throw this in my pocket and just keep it moving. I also have my Kindle in here. I will tell you, I am retiring in the next year. Well, this time next year, I will be retired. But I have a lot of appointments coming up, and I'm going to be waiting, and I don't want to always be on my phone. So I think it's just so convenient for me to, you know, read on my Kindle instead of just scrolling all the time. And last year I met my goal, my reading goals. You know, I wanted to read more, whether it was reading a physical book, a Kindle on my Kindle, or listening to an Audible. You know, I think I was up to probably about 4 books or so a month, you know, between you know, the reading and the listening. I also have a small cosmetic case in here. I have a larger one that I usually take with me when I'm traveling, but in here I just have my little compact, my little MAC cosmetic case for when I'm like touching up underneath my eyes. I don't know what it is, but ever since I moved to Arizona, it's like as soon as I step outside, my eyes just immediately start running. So, and then I have just a little brush to touch up, you know, my T-zone. I also have the Summer Fridays lip balm. I like this because it's not extremely glossy, like that sticky gloss. There's just something about that I don't like it for myself. I like it on other people, but for myself, give me a matte look. Give me a matte lip, a little matte, like, or a little bit of shine. But when it's so glossy, where it looks like I just been like sipping on grease, I don't want that. Or like I just put a whole thing of Aquaphor or something on my lips. That's not for me. That's not the look I'm ever going for. So I appreciate a nice little matte lip. I also have my Chanel lotion in here. I go back and forth between this one and the Dior one. I find that the Dior one is a little bit more, you know, moisturizing. I think it's a little thicker. And then I also have my perfume in here. This is the Dior, Grease Dior. I usually keep a bottle of something on me, just like a little small sample size. It's so funny because when I had went up to Scottsdale, what's this, last week? And I took a Uber and the girl was taking me back to my hotel and she says, "Oh my, you smell so good." She said, "I have to tell you, you smell so good. What is it that you have on?" And I had 2 small samples in my cosmetic bag. I just gave them to her because I have a bigger bottle at home. And she was like, "I am wearing this to church." I said, "Well, you go, girl." But usually when I buy a big bottle of perfume, I usually ask for samples just because it's easy to travel with. You're not toting around your big bottles. But this is the Grease Dior from Dior. This is my everyday scent. I get a lot of compliments on this. But I go back and forth between this one and the Parfums de Marly Delina. Perfect for the office, you know. It's not overwhelming, you know. It's, like I said, I get a lot of compliments on those. But yeah, I am so excited to have this bag. And I would tell you that last year I really started treating myself, but I have to slow down because I have been buying things like I work for the cartel, and I do not. I'm making honest, reputable living. But you know what I think it is? I am 51 years old. I'll be 52 this year, and my daughter will be 27 next month. And you know, I've been a single parent since my daughter was 4 years old, right? So I think for myself, you know, I'm not going to say I wasn't treating myself, but it was a different, you know, a different kind of like level of treating. But over the years, it's just been, my priorities have shifted, right? So let me get my daughter through high school, then let me get my daughter through college with no, you know, student loan debt. That was always the goal. And she's a whole registered nurse, and now it's just the time for me to be selfish and maybe to buy those things that I've always wanted, but I never bought, or I never, you know, I never prioritized. Well, luxury items shouldn't be a priority for anybody, but you know, you want to treat yourself and you want to buy the things that are going to bring you joy. And I like what I like. So luxury items bring me joy, and travel brings me joy. And those are the 2 things that I invest in. Those are the things that I spend my money on the most, you know. But at this stage of my life, I have no responsibilities. It's myself and it's my dog. And until I become a grandmother, I'm going to continue to blow money. But I've also been eyeing, now that I got this out the way, And I'm very, very happy with this bag. But I have been eyeing a couple bags. I have been eyeing a Balenciaga City bag. And I thought that Free People bag, I bought that bag. And I thought that bag was going to scratch my itch. It did not. It just made me want the real thing. It made me want the City bag even more. I also have been eyeing the Ferragamo bag. The Ferragamo Hug bag. And I'll tell you why. I'm transitioning from the military. I'm headed into, God willing, a business casual environment where I can be cute and dress up every day. And that bag screams, she's about her business. She's not playing any games. She's here to she is here and all about her business, right? That's what it says to me. So I've been eyeing that. It's definitely, that Ferragamo bag is definitely a grown woman bag. It gives grown woman energy all day long. It gives stylish. It gives, she knows where all the fancy restaurants are. She always smells good. That's what it gives, and that's what I want. So, but I'm going to continue to look on Fashion File. I saw one the other day. I'm so glad I'm so glad somebody purchased it, because honey, I was about to do some damage, and I said, no, you sit this one out. You wait. But this has been my luxury bag of 26. But let me know, what have you been eyeing? Whether it's this year or next year, what do you have on your luxury wish list? Or it doesn't necessarily have to be luxury. Until next time, my friend, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.